Hello and welcome back to my humble little series known as Let's Chat. I am your host, Elijah Daly Parker. And before we get into the thick of today's business, I just ask that you please subscribe and comment, please, or else this land will be burdened with the curse of a famine and my children will starve. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Anyway, enough of that nonsense out of the way. Today, since Spooky Month is approaching, I thought it'd be fitting to kind of dive into this topic today. And to join me for this topic, I'm joined by past recurring guest, Mr. Brandon Humphrey. Thank you so much for joining me yet again, my bro.
Thank you for having me again, man. I enjoy doing things like this.
Oh, and you've been in my digital garage in past episodes, so isn't this an improvement? We literally have theater lights on this right now.
I do have to say it is a big improvement. It fits the horror vibe of the
spooky
of this stuff.
Yes, we're gonna get spooky.
Coming up.
October is coming up, just right around the corner. So speaking of horror, I just want to say this year, as far as horror and thrillers have gone, we've been eating good. Last year kind of sucked. It was a little dry there. But, of course, with Spooky Month coming up, let's dive into the horror thriller genre. I've touched on it a little bit throughout my series, but today we're going to do a deeper dive on it. So we can talk about just stuff that's come out this year, stuff we've watched in our past, and just really what makes a good horror film.
I actually had watched a movie recently. I actually bought it because I really like it. It's actually based off a horror game called Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah, my wife and I watched that movie this year.
That movie was...
Did you play the game too?
I love the game too.
I've seen gameplay of the game and its predecessors after, which the movie has really nothing to do with the game really till the very end. But
if you watch carefully, there are Easter eggs.
There's oodles of Easter eggs, and I loved it. But my wife, who had no idea Until Dawn was even a game, she went into it completely blindly, and she liked it. She ended up liking the movie because it was kind of like a standalone thing. So that was I wanted to say it was a good game adaptation because it wasn't really based off the game. It didn't do anything other than cameos or Easter eggs. Yeah. But it was a good standalone movie.
It really was. I think that they could have done a lot better in certain spots, but I feel like as a movie as a whole, in my book, it's about an 8 out of 10.
I'd stand with you on that. And just this year in general, because we were talking before, you really hadn't watched much this year. Dude, you've been missing out, man. You've been missing out.
I've been hearing a lot of things.
It's been a good year for horror, even just from January till now. In fact, it's weird because October coming up, I remember getting just one horror movie for the whole month. And we're getting one in December, Five Nights at Freddy's, which is
it's a hit or miss. If they do it right, it's good. If not, they're going to lose some people.
Oh, no, definitely. But, I just wrote down a whole list of just the stuff my wife and I watched. It's the more theatrical stuff, not just released on streaming or whatever. But it's been good. So there's nothing else you've watched this year at all?
And I guarantee if you name some of them that you've watched, I probably could tell you.
One I will bring up is Final Destination Bloodlines. Have you watched any of the Final Destination movies?
I have, actually.
Okay, good, because that's the conversation I want to have. Because I never watched Final Destination, not even a clip of it, until my wife and I went to go watch Bloodlines in theater. That hooked me. It was such a good movie. It's potentially my favorite horror/thriller that came out this year. And then after that, of course, we binged all the Final Destinations, which she'd already watched, but we just sat together and watched them. So that was really cool getting to do that.
I love the Final Destination movies because it's just it's got a story that will hook you in.
Yes.
And yes, there are some confusion in there, but if you watch all the way through, a lot of your questions will get answered. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say about that.
I know, it got me hooked. Bloodlines, I think, is the best one, though. Have you watched Bloodlines?
I have not.
You should.
I've been dying to watch it, though.
You should. Clever boy. Have you watched any of, there's 28 Years Later came out this year. Have you watched Days, Weeks? Have you watched either of those?
I have not.
Well, we won't go into that. That was kind of a weird franchise.
I actually didn't know that was even a franchise to be up front.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I did watch a movie on there. It was called Hard Eyes. It was a horror Valentine's film.
Yes.
Now, in my opinion, it sucked. I did not like it.
It was disappointing.
It was very disappointing. The story was good, but the execution was garbage.
It was just another slasher to me. He gave me a Ghostface vibe, sort of.
Yeah, and Ghostface, I've seen all the Ghostface movies. I did watch all the
You've seen all the Screams?
Actually, it's been confirmed that Matthew will be coming back in the
I
next
heard
one.
that, and that'll be good because I've only seen the first one and then the two recent ones that came out. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm very looking forward to that. It's
Now,
gonna be good.
on the topic of just slashers in general, what's your thoughts on those?
Slashers, to me, I feel like every movie has a specific aura to it.
Yeah.
Slashers, they're great. They are. But they have to be done right or they are just complete garbage. For instance, this is a legitimate movie that I seen. It was bad because all the characters was not written well. And even the characters that were supposed to be doing all the killing was not written well. It's called, I think it was Blood and Honey.
Oh, was that like the Winnie the Pooh
Yeah,
one?
see, that one was not good, in my opinion, because the characters was not written well at all. And nor was the killers written well. And they're making a second one. To me, I'm like, why are you doing that? You killing your studio doing something.
Well, I think it's just they're profiting from like, oh, innocent IP, we're gonna make it twisted like Winnie the Pooh, but he kills people.
See, and that's another thing too. Like, I'm not bashing the horror genre. I love the horror genre. I mean, like you and I discussed before we started of an idea that we were going to be working on in November. I don't know. It's just anymore they're taking the childhood stuff and turning into a horror aspect, and it just ain't working.
Yeah,
It really
no.
just ain't working.
With slashers, I feel like a lot of them overstay their welcome. Specifically, like Halloween. Have you kept up with that franchise?
God, man, if I had $1 for every time that man has died and came back, I would have a good chunk of money.
You would.
Have you seen the last one?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so out of everything they have done to this man, hit him with cars, etc., that normally would kill a person, they throw him in a wood chipper.
Yep.
It's like, why? If you were going to kill somebody, you could have done a way better job, in my opinion. Granted, I'm glad they finished off the franchise that way. I'm glad they did, but they could have did it in a more brutal way. Because I feel like the more movies that they have, I feel like they should be killed off in a more brutal way.
Well, I think it's that franchise didn't have a graceful retirement. It just got put down, like Michael did that pretty much. Because I just hated that movie all around. Like, it was getting good. The first two comebacks were okay. The third one, nope.
And that's another thing too. Like, they need to know when to stop, because there are so many things. Movies, video games. Everybody that makes those kind of things just need to learn when to stop. As I always say, it's always best to make two, and then overdo it and kill the franchise.
Oh yeah, and on a good note, while you're ahead, And you mentioned brutality in a movie. Let's talk body horror and gore. I feel like that's been a much bigger thing going on in the horror genre lately.
I love gore. I love, as the song is, and I hope we don't get copyrighted for this, but let the bodies hit the floor, Just imagine watching every horror film and that just starts playing right behind you.
Some of them. Have you watched the Terrifier franchise?
Freaking love that.
I do. It's fun. It's super fun. I think I'm getting desensitized to it because the last one, it didn't triumph the second one, if you ask me. And that's where you get with Final Destination, just all the creativity behind it. I like that in body horror and gore.
Chucky, in my opinion, was good in the start, but then they literally just killed off the whole franchise.
And they turned it into a show, didn't they?
They did, and it was not a good show in my opinion. Really, they should have stuck with 2 movies. It's just my opinion. Because the third one, the Chucky Seed, made no sense to me. And on the fact that somewhere along the lines, he still ended up getting cancer as a doll, I don't know how that
I've only seen the first one, so first one's just a good standalone on its own. He dies in the end and calls it a day,
Yeah, and that's another thing. If it's done right, if you try to kill the killer, but he comes back, and they do it right, it's bon appetit. If not, you better just stick to 1 or 2 movies and that's it. Because what I learned in filming, and you've learned in doing plays and stuff like that and movie making, is that everything looks good on paper.
Yes.
But putting it into action, it don't always look as good as it actually
Oh
sounds.
no, especially when movies use CGI. Like The Conjuring was kind of, I didn't love it, and it used that CGI jump scare too much where it's like, that doesn't even look real.
The horror genre used to be really good. Now it's just like, not saying it ain't good now, but back in the day, you used to actually sit down, get real close to the TV because the music's just like right there, and it's like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna, don't go upstairs, don't go in the basement, and you're just like, what's gonna happen next? And then out of nowhere, the killer jumps out and you just fall back, and anymore, you're just expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, the music's there, but the execution isn't there, and it's like, I'm expecting him to be there. He's gonna come around that corner any minute now, and you just see him walk around that corner.
Yeah, and like I think this year's been trying hard to go more for like originality. Like the reason I think slashers aren't much of a thing anymore is just because they're way overrun. Michael's gone, Jason's gone. We really just have Terrifier now and sort of Ghostface going on. But even then, it's like different twists, and they have their own gimmick.
Yeah.
So I stay away from slasher personally. But next, I want to like 2 more mentions to like movies that came out this year, and then we can dive into our final big question. There was that movie Together about. Have you watched Together? Or seen anything about it?
I've seen like trailers and previews.
It was a body horror movie, but it was like a good thriller overall too. That was a good one. Together, I really liked. My wife and I watched that, and as a couple watching, I recommend you watch it with your wife. Because it's like watching it as a couple is just kind of Because it's not even like the body horror or like even the scary stuff. It's just like the realism of like their issues and fights and stuff. It kind of makes you cringe in your seat.
Oh, yeah.
And then with that said, a movie that's still out in theaters you need to go watch. The Long Walk, which is based off of Stephen King's, I think it was the very first thing he wrote. If not, it's one of his earliest stuff. Such a good movie. It's more of a thriller than a horror, where it's about like this group of boys that are like having to walk, and whoever like falls out of line gets killed. Like that's just a very like elevator pitch of it. Highly recommend that because like you said, execution matters because one guy is gonna come out at the end of this. These are all gonna die, but you are curious of how it's gonna happen, and you hate to see it because you like just get attached to it. I recommend it. I think you'll love it. It's such a good movie. It's like an old classic Stephen King movie if you ever gotten into those. Like Shawshank, sort of, if you ever watched it.
And Saw is also another franchise.
That's a whole other thing.
That's
right
a
there.
whole franchise that killed itself on movie 4.
It's had some hiccups. There's some, I liked Spiral and Jigsaw. Those are pretty alright. But no, we've dissected all the elements now, so let's discuss what really makes like an ideal horror movie. I feel like I talked about it a bit, but what about you? What on your end?
I feel like on my end is the aura, the environment.
Yeah.
Which would be like this place right here. I mean, every time I turn around, I'm thinking somebody's gonna jump out there and kidnap me at any time.
That is a pretty ominous hole over there. Which was my nickname, and no, I won't go there.
Horror aspect to it, jump scares, the timing in certain areas, and also none of the cringiness.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go to the car. Okay, car's locked. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's run back to the dude that's trying to kill us, or should we run into the woods? Let's run back to the dude that's trying to kill us.
Then trips on nothing.
Exactly.
I hate those tropes. I'm so glad I think we're edging away from that. But that was mostly like in the slasher stuff, The stupid teens do stupid decisions and it gets them killed in the end. But no, with all that, I think a movie that kind of captures all you said was the new It remake, Chapter 1, not the second one. The second one got botched, but the first one, because I think that is the only horror movie I've ever watched that kept me like standing on my I don't know, I was on edge the whole time. I think there was only one scene in that whole movie that gave me like a sense of security. The rest of it, it's like something's gonna happen any minute. I don't know when. Because that whole tone, the aura of it, just from start to finish is like, ugh.
Actually, I do have an interesting fact if you'd like to know.
Share your interesting
fact. You ever watch the movie Lights Out?
Lights Out, yes.
Okay, so fun fact for you on that movie. Believe it or not, there was a short film to start off.
I knew. My wife knew that too. Like we knew that, and I think the short film is better than the movie. If I'm being honest.
And it was funny because it was kind of like how like me and the other guys were, when we did Skepta. We were just sitting up there at the college, thinking, let's just do something. And they just 3-4 dudes got together, shot the whole thing in 5 minutes, and it was perfect. The aura was great. Every time they turn on the light, gone. And what makes it even better is that they get closer and closer every time, and you're like, how did they do that? And they shot it all on a phone, so it made it even better.
Yeah, I miss that age of like just on your phone edited like internet horror. Like that famous mirror video of the girl looking in it. She looks away, and the thing just goes like, oh.
Oh yeah.
And like Slenderman, the creepypasta era,
Which, thinking about horror stuff and creepypastas, there was a video like that. Those little games that make you follow the maze.
Yes.
I remember one time I seen this video one time. This guy was doing it, and it just jump scared him, and he just stopped his.
I know that.
He did it, and he shattered his entire screen. I think that dude pooped himself. I ain't gonna lie. I think that dude pooped himself.
And just like the poop from that man's butthole, time has just slipped us like, I guess, poop in a butthole. I could have ended it on a much classier note than that. But with that said, I think we touched a lot on the horror. It doesn't feel like it's been 20 minutes, has it?
Don't really feel like it at all.
No, but I feel like we still covered a lot. We talked about this year, years past, and what we kind of like in horror. And who knows, maybe we can cover again in the future and execute some cool, fun projects like you touched on. But as always, I just want to say it was a pleasure to have you on and get a little spooky. Hopefully no one jumps out of the ominous hole over there.
You better not come back there, Josh. It's all right.
But anyway, that's going to conclude it here today. Of course, I want to thank my wonderful guest, Brandon, for joining me and getting spooky this time. I don't know if this is more or less horrifying than the Awful Jobs episode.
Awful Jobs episode, I think, scared me more than this episode.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. This episode,
well, that's real life is what that is.
Oh, yeah. You have no
Funny
idea.
enough, if I had a nickel for every time we talked about poop on an episode, I'd have 2 nickels, which is weird. Which is not a lot, but it's weird that happened twice. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the channel. Support me, support Brandon and his endeavors. He's got stuff going on. I'll put down below. But like that, as I always say, that is a wrap.